In this video, we're going to be using some Dollar Tree blanks that I picked up. I found these cute little trays, this Christmas tree. They're wood. They're just kind of a white wood. I assume they're kind of a pine. And then a hot pad. So I measured out these little trays. They're so cute. They're two different sizes, and the ends, some of them have hearts, some of them have half moon shapes. I mean, they're just adorable. And what I did find is that the bigger one has a little bit more space. You can do a good 4-inch by maybe 5-inch design, and the other two roughly a 4 by 4-inch design. That's kind of what I worked with, is the 4 by 4 design for these. Now this Christmas tree wood blank came in at roughly 11.5 inches tall and about 10 inches wide. So of course my printer doesn't print that big. I cannot do like a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 12 or anything like that. So what I did was I came up with a design that I could press on this Christmas tree and leave some area open. This is a cute little design that I made in Canva for on one of the trays. I just thought it was absolutely adorable. I will put a link for this font, and it's called Bee something, but I just love those swooshes, the little bees on there. So I'm going to be putting this on one of the trays. Now I also designed this Christmas tree in Canva. So what I did was I found a Christmas tree frame that looked similar to my wood blank, and I pulled that in, and then I put a red background inside of that, and then I brought a star frame in and I put some gold glitter in that. And now I am making this that my page here on Word is 8.5 by 11, so you can see I made it slightly smaller than that, just enough that I can print this and it will fit nicely on that Christmas tree. So I've brought all my images in onto an 8.5 by 11 sheet of sublimation paper. I'm using HTV Ront sublimation paper for this. And so I've got my bee for one of my trays, and then I found this cute Santa for another one of the trays, and the Joy Gnome is going to be on another tray, and then the Let's Get Baked is for on our hot pad. So I will get these printed. Now I'm going to be using my Epson EcoTank 2760 that I have converted over to sublimation printing by using sublimation ink. These are a few other things that I'm going to be needing today. I'm going to need a nice sharp scissors, heat resistant tape, coffee filters. I'm going to be using a lint roller, and I'm going to be using my mini heat press. This is an HTV Ront mini heat press. I'm going to be using these on those trays that we're doing. So here is my finished sublimation design. Remember, you always need to reverse so that they don't press on backwards. You want them to print backwards so that when you press them on, they are the correct way. So now I'm going to trim all these images down. So here's the first image. I'm going to put the bee on the little bit bigger tray. Now these trays are not, they are not 100% square. So when we press these, there may be some spots that don't get heat pressed real well, but it does turn out pretty good. So I turned my mini heat press on, and I turned it on high. There's 3 settings on this, low, medium, and high, and I did turn it on high for this project. Now I've taped my image in place on my tray, and I'm ready to press this. So I'm using a medium pressure on this because, like I said, these trays, they're not 100% square, and they do have a bottom to them. So if you press too hard, you're going to be curving the wood. So I pressed each section for 60 seconds. So I lifted up my press and I moved it over. And so I think I did 3 minutes total on pressing this. All in all, for being raw wood, this turned out very well. The picture doesn't show it as good as it looks, but it did turn out very well. It's a little light up around his eyes and his wings, but all in all, it is very good for a Dollar Tree blank. So here I did the same thing with the next two trays. I taped my image down and I put the high heat on for 1 minute on each section at medium pressure. And again, these turned out very good. Now this is with no lamination, thermal lamination pouch or anything. This is just right on the raw wood. And I think it turned out great. You can put a layer of clear glaze on these, but I would go very thin. If you go too thick, it may smear. Now we're going to be doing our Christmas tree blank. So I did cut the hanger off because when I press this, I don't want to have anything interfering with the pressure. Now on to the Christmas tree design. So you can see my print coming out on the left there. And I heated my press up to 385 degrees and I set it for 60 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-press this Christmas tree to get all the moisture out of it. We don't want any moisture left on this wood. So pick the best side of the blank that you want to press your image on and just preheat that, for about 10 to 15 seconds so you can get the moisture out of it. And I'm using an HTV Ront auto press for this. I always trim my images so that I can see where I'm lining them up on my blank. So you can see that I trimmed that Christmas tree down. And now on the right here, you can see that I lined it up the way I want it and I taped it down with heat resistant tape. So I pressed this at 385 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds, and then I took a peek and it looks really good. And this turned out really well. On the left there you can see it fresh out of the press, and then on the right I added a new hanger to it. And you could add some cute ribbon to this or anything else, and it turned out just adorable. Now we're going to put our sublimation image on a hot pad. Now after I went to do these hot pads, I realized that they are 100% cotton. I have purchased hot pads from Dollar Tree before and they have been polyester, but this one is 100% cotton. So I clean my hot pad here with a lint roller to make sure there's nothing on there, and then I pre-press this to get the moisture out, and it came out kind of wrinkly, so then I straightened it out and I repressed it again. I probably pressed this for a good 30 seconds to try and get this nice and flat. I've taped my image down in the area that I want it with heat resistant tape, and now it's ready to press. Like I said earlier, this is cotton, and so I'm not going to be washing it, so I'm not too worried about it, and I'm really glad that I used a dark image for this. I wanted a dark image on the brown. It's not going to pick up color with that dark brown color, but it does pick up the black very well. So I actually pressed this at 385 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 minutes. This turned out really well, especially being cotton. It did get nice and dark. And like I said, I'm really glad that I went with the dark color on there. Being it was a brown hot pad, I wanted the black image, and I think it looks adorable. And here are the finished products of our Dollar Tree blanks. We've got the hot pad up in the left corner. We've got the Christmas tree there on the right corner. And now on the bottom you can see all three of those adorable trays. They turned out really cute. For Dollar Tree items, I think all in all it's a win. So items that I've used, I've linked below, and please subscribe to my channel. I have put links below for items that I've used in this video and also a link to my Etsy store. Thank you.